Man, that was raw as fuck.
Yo, did the audio come in good?
Yeah, dude.
Yo, that intro is sick, man.
Dude, that's just sweet.
We're gonna make some changes and shit to it too. So yeah, that's what I had cook it up, man. It took me about an hour to do that. That's crazy.
Damn.
But what's up, everybody? This is Weaponry Fitness. I am joined along with Animated Mind and him and his gaming chair. I wish I had.
What's good, y'all?
I don't know. Oh, by the way, man, while I was waiting, Bitcoin hit all time high. It just broke 105K.
Oh, it did? I didn't even know that.
Hold on, I'm about to pull the chart up now.
Damn. I was just thinking that today. I'm like, it's probably about to shoot up soon.
So it just went back down as it always does. So people are taking profits on the way up.
Damn.
Yeah, so it did smack 105K. So when you text me, man, we were at like we were like at 2.06, I mean 2.05 trillion market cap. Now we're at 2.07. So it moved a whole point zero 0.02 in just like 20 minutes. That's a lot.
Damn. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So this is the daily. I noticed that on the weekends, the crypto markets move. Like on Saturday, it's usually like a sideways action, but like on Sunday, that's when you that's when you'll see some price action. Either it'll
Yeah.
go down or up. So because I was buying like crazy on Friday and Saturday morning. So because I knew we were gonna go to the upside, I had a feeling. So
Right. I had the
because
same
there's
feeling,
just
man.
yeah, it was just in the red too long, man. And I saw a couple of wave down. Oh, like it was. Hold on, let me go. Let's go to Sui real quick before we get into the topic because I saw Sui was making some moves here. Top 15. Damn. It went from 19 to 15.
Man, look at Suri.
So we're at 14.018 market cap. 4.79. So I don't know when you bought, but
Before a shot.
yeah, so in a month you would have uh yeah, it was at $3 a month ago.
Dude, look at how much this went up in just the last like couple of months. It's crazy.
Yeah, so this is the monthly. So you can see the dip right here, and then it's going a little bit of a sideways action. Here goes one wave up. I don't know when the waves yeah, this is an A wave right here, B wave, and then it's just so this thing I could see this thing hitting $6 by the
Damn.
end of this month because
Holy, really?
we're only in the B wave. So
Damn. Now, how was you able to tell that?
I mean, I'm just guessing based on the wave. So there's going to be some sell offs right here. It might come back down to like 420, and then it's going to go right back up to like $5 on the 3 wave, possibly 4 wave. Um, yeah, just clip that because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm getting better at my technical analysis. But
There's usually
I,
five waves, right?
I could just tell just by the market cap because if you go to the chart on the market cap, so it is coming up. Look at this crazy ass. Jesus Christ, man! This is just in yeah, this was just in December.
That's crazy, dude.
Yes, some people are speculating that the bull run could run past December into quarter one of 2026. So um
Yeah.
I'd be careful about that, man. So just because people are just over bullish just to uh, get people to pump the markets, but the people that's been long enough know better. So
Remember last bull cycle, they thought Bitcoin was gonna go to 100K, and it didn't.
yeah,
So that's why you got to take some profits, man. Leave some runners in, but don't leave the whole bag in
yeah.
there. Go forever.
I just did a strategy that was very risky, but I'll tell you that off stream. you,
All right.
you you gonna be like, what the? Oh man, I would say that online because it's just not. Oh man, let's just say if I whew, let's just say I'm gonna disappear for a minute, man. If I made the right decision. So um but yeah, let's get into the topic, man. So I don't know what the hell the topic is. Oh, hold on a second. So is have you ever heard of main character syndrome?
No,
Did you hear me?
no, I didn't hear. Can you hear me?
Oh, hold on. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever heard of main character syndrome?
Nope.
Um so let's pull the let's pull the Google up. Um I'm gonna Google this real quick. Oh man, I didn't even have to do that. So main character syndrome is a term used to describe someone who views themselves as the main character in their own life story. It's a popular term on social media and pop culture, but it's not a mental health diagnosis. So basically, um, it's basically you're the main character. Like people are always talking about themselves nowadays. I mean, social media, the the way social media is today, um, basically you're representing your own brand. So we learned this from 2020 from the C19.
Hmm.
Um, whoops, hold on. Yeah, we learned this from C19. Like everybody was in their houses, they couldn't go out, so like everybody got online. Everybody started trying to make money online. So now everybody's their own brand. So whatever you, if like I see it like this, and it's kind of messed up to say, but like if you don't have a social media presence, you're kind of non-existent. Like nobody knows who you are. Nobody really cares who you are because what do you what do you think when you go out in person when you go out into the public and talk to people? Like whether it's women or men, they want to know what your social media is. They want to know what your Instagram is. They want you to follow them back, hoping.
Hmm.
I mean, they want you to follow them, hoping that that you follow them back. So have you
Yeah.
noticed that like people's like people are just like different, like they're representing the brand. Like we don't know who they are, but they want to shield their brand basically.
Yeah, man. Having social media presence is almost like, not saying it's mandatory, but it almost is. That's just how everybody gets to know each other now. It's social media. You see everything on social media.
Yeah. Uh Yeah, I mean, this is why I read up on this stuff because you want to kind of maintain some kind of semblance of who you are, and I don't want to
Hmm.
get caught up in a lot of like people are just going crazy nowadays, like they're lost, and like you got to be able to adapt to the times, man, because us as millennials, we know what it was like before social media, cell phones, and stuff like that. So,
One of the big
uh,
problems is there's like a lot of information. You have good information, bad information. You have one person's views, another views. So it's like you're torn. Like, okay, which one do you believe? You could go believe in the wrong thing. It's a lot of information, man, and not everyone is going to be looked at as right. It's everyone's own opinion, really.
I'm glad you brought that up. So you graduated high school. I don't know. See, I don't know the difference between public school and because I went to a Catholic school, a private school, basically. So I don't know how they're. I mean, obviously, we all should be. Um, we should be learning from the same standard, like the curriculums. But like the teachers matter, man. We gotta have good teachers that care. So like, I think that it's funny you brought that up. Like, there's so much different sources for information. So like if you type something in Google, don't just like click on the first thing you see. You might have to read up on different sources, and that's what they taught you in like English class or something. So like you don't want to go
Yes.
on a website like Reddit to look for your information. Like
No, it's best to go to the credible people who can back up some things with facts. That helps a little bit. And yeah, watching a couple different videos, reading a couple different articles, so you can kind of get a gist of more information. Because yeah, taking just one, you have no idea if it's right or wrong.
yeah, if anybody is watching this video, make sure you hit the like, try to drop a comment because YouTube is not pushing my live streams. I don't even know if they're pushing it after we on the playback, but I don't know. So I'm actually gonna read this. It won't let me. Hold on. Mm, Oh, I'm still getting used to this. uh,
You good?
okay, so here's the symptoms of it. So it's dude, I think it's kind of normal. People with main character syndrome may have an exaggerated sense of importance, seek constant attention, have difficulty accepting criticism, self-centered and self-absorbed. So this is all very normal. Like this even before social media, like people had this, but I think it's increased on a different level. Um,
Yeah, and
what are you
I
gonna
don't
say?
think it's necessarily like it's not like it's bad to look at yourself as life as your own story, but if it's too much and overbearing, then yeah, I can see where there could be a problem.
Oh, here's a big one. Well, not this, but having difficulty empathizing with others. I think that's a big one. Take
Hmm.
credit for other people's work. So now the only reason I started this podcast after 6 years of watching podcasts, I've learned about how people podcast. So like this is where people get upset. If you say something, make sure you reference where you got it from. Um, so taking credit for other people's work, people hate that. Like people out here write books on stuff, and then you kind of like paraphrase or even say it verbatim, and then I mean it's look, man, information's not owned by anybody, but like give somebody some credit, man, where you got it from.
Especially if you took it from somebody. If you thought of it on your own, okay, cool, or came to that conclusion. But if you took it from somebody else, yeah, give that person credit.
Now the fact main character syndrome, I don't know where that came from, so I don't know who coined it. So whoever coined that, I try to be careful what I use, like language I use, because I'm not trying to get up all wrapped up in this Gen Z
Yeah, I mean, I've actually
terminology, man.
like if you look at like being the main character in your own story, it's a good thing. Like it's I don't look at it as something terrible, but when you're looking at these bullets, like, yeah, those look bad, but those are overbearing. If you're such
Yeah,
the main character that you can't, accept other people, or you're taking credit for someone else's stuff, like, yeah, that's too much.
yeah, constantly complain about not getting enough recognition. So this is, I mean, some of these I have to a degree, but like I think it's like it's kind of like Bitcoin, man. You experience a new low and then you get high. You want everybody to know that you are doing something great. So this is why I
Yeah.
title it main character syndrome versus self-respect. So what do you think you think there's a difference between being self-absorbed and having self-pride? Like
I think
if you're proud of something you've done, you want everybody to know, but they don't notice it.
I don't think nothing's wrong with being. I think it comes to when it's overbearing. It's okay to feel prideful or to feel like confident, but to be overconfident or over prideful, yeah, I think that's a problem.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know this, man. I used to work on aircraft in the military. Like that is probably one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, aside from being in cable. But like, I don't brag about that because nobody knows what I had to go through to do that shit. So, except the people that I did it with. So, it's not something I could be prideful of because I mean nobody cares. So, I mean, that's how I get through my days, man. I try to stay away from this victim mindset, man. Like I don't like to compete with others on how hard I had it. So I just I had to learn that. like the hard way, because if you keep complaining about how hard your life is or your circumstances, you're never going to be able to climb that wall because it's a mental mindset. So
Yep. And everybody has a hard experience, no matter what it is. Like your hard experience, maybe, I may have not done nothing as hard as you as far as like the air in the military, because that stuff was ridiculous. What you had to do was, when I found out what you did, I'm like, dude, that is people could die doing that stuff, bro. Like
yeah,
that's no joke. But it's your worst experience or your hardest experience is your hardest experience. You can't compare it to somebody else. You know, my,
well, I'll tell you one thing, dude. I didn't know what to expect when I joined the military at 18-year-old. So the reason why they want you in the military as young as possible, because you're at the most moldable state. So it's like dropping into a ball of a pit of snakes. So if you want to survive, you're gonna do whatever you can to get out of that pit,
yeah,
or you're gonna fight back somehow, or you're just gonna die. So it was either struggle with the pain, and then because in my mind I was like, man, I just had to deal with 4 years of this. Um, and that was crazy, man. But I even did longer than that because I had no money. I was like, dude, what am
yeah,
I gonna do after this? So I was like, I re-enlisted for another 3 years. So, but
yeah. Needing the money in a job will definitely make you stay longer than you want to.
yeah, and I think that was my first spark of what it was like to be ambitious, because I was like, dude, those first 4 years went by quick. So I was like, these next 2.5 years, I'm gonna have to make something out of myself. So you know what? I got a car, got an apartment, started saving up money, paid that car off toward the end of my enlistment. And then I had 10 grand coming out, and 10 grand was a lot back then. Uh, Only problem is I got married, so that didn't last long. But I was like, oh shit, now I got to figure something else out. Like, dude, there's so much, there's so much learning in life that you have to do, man. But what would you say, to get off topic a little bit, what was your biggest struggle, like in your late teens and your early 20s, that you like, if you had the same struggle now, you could overcome it just like that. So
Uh, I'm not sure. I didn't really have struggles like beginning in life because I was living with my pops. A lot of that stuff happened when I moved out and have to experience what life is like on your own.
eh,
Because when you live with your parents versus living by yourself, that's when a lot of that's when you see life for what it really is. When you have to
yeah,
pay all the bills, you got to take care of everything. When something happens, you got to be the one to fix it. Like that's when life got real.
yeah, yeah.
Because if you don't pay
Oh
your
man,
bills, they don't care. They will kick you out on the street. Like, man, like
yeah,
it's wild.
it's because you're probably not the only one doing that. So like, that's money out their pocket. They can't run a business or like a real estate property if you're not paying. Like,
Yeah.
you're not paying rent. They can't run a electric company if you're not paying the bills, man.
Like anything you don't own, you don't pay it off, they will come and take it. Like that's what's wild. You got a car, you don't pay it, they take it. And then life, things happen, shit. And things that they don't even care. Say if something happens out of your control and you don't have the money to pay for your rent, they don't care.
Okay, so yeah, I have a video from my guy Rolo Tomasi and Zuby. So I don't know if you know who Zuby is.
Nope, never heard of them.
You never? Oh man, you have to look this up, because this is crazy what Zuby did. So Zuby identified as a woman, and he's a masculine dude as hell. So he identified as a woman and broke the record for deadlift, and then he went back to being a man.
Damn.
He didn't dress up or anything. He just identified with a beard and everything. Like, I don't know how they let that fly, but it's whatever. But he actually broke the record for women's deadlift.
And then went back to being a man.
Yeah. So this is
That is not fair.
yeah, I mean, he did that to prove a point. Like, you can't,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like he did that on purpose. He just did that to prove a point. I don't remember when the timeline was this. I might have to look it up. I don't know if it was before the after the Leah Thomas thing, but I think it might have been after. So, um, but he didn't do that to get any attention or anything. He just wanted to prove a point. Like you can't identify as a man. I mean, as a woman, if you're biologically a man, basically.
I don't think
But
it's
yeah,
fair when it comes to sports and stuff. Like it's just ridiculous.
because
I don't know.
see, he did that because no woman would identify as a man and do a men's competition. They would get
Nope.
slaughtered. So
And
that's the
that's the
that was the
thing.
point.
Yeah, if you notice, it's always been, men going as women and breaking some type of record or going and playing basketball and dominating. It's never been the other way around.
Yeah, men men will identify as women because women have privilege like more than men. So I think there's something to go into that. But yeah, I'm gonna share this video. So this goes more into the topic, goes a little bit deeper. So there we go. So I got it at the clip. This is a podcast. It was like it's like last year, a couple months ago. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, my mouse is. I ain't even got a mouse pad. This mouse pad is trash. I'm using a shoebox for my mouse pad.
That's terrible.
I'm trying different screens. Okay, I guess it's the best one.
Because it should be whatever
Can you hear that?
Yep.
I say it should be. No, it is what it is. It's all just like whether it's pro-social or anti-social is on the application.
Yeah. I find that in our society, and again, I think this is because the overall culture has been so heavily feminized into this emotionalism. It's like they're
Okay, so when he says the culture has been feminized, he means that the culture has been basically it's forcing people to see through a female lens. So like if it's not the female way, it's not the right way. So that's basically what he means by that.
there are ideas and knowledge and facts and data and statistics that exist that you're supposed to pretend that they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone even dares talk about them again, it's drawn back into the emotionalism. It's drawn back into some type of hatred, or you are anti this, or you are anti that, because you're even just talking about the thing.
Well, it's part of the denial part. Like I said, when people are faced with like reality, like that really sort of shatters their ego and
Fair use.
investments, you have two choices. You can either go into denial, or you can accept it, analyze yourself, and then change yourself as a result of that. Most people don't want to change themselves. So it's easier.
So Rollo Tomasi will say, this is where I get the quote from. You either, how's it go? You either wish it were easier, or you do better, or something like that. You wish it were easier, or you wish you were better. So like you'll come into contact with people that have a victim mindset, and they'll wish, they'll vote for it too. They'll vote with their laziness. Basically, they want things given to them. So this is the problem with the Democratic Party. They want things given to them, but they don't want to do the work to get better. So I mean, that's kind of where he goes with that. But yeah, we haven't got to the part where Zuby talks about pretty much that's related to this topic.
The easier path is to go into denial. Denial can take all kinds of different forms, such as you hate women. Who hurt you? Go touch grass. Have you ever been in love? That kind of stuff.
I think what also happens, particularly online, is the truth is not everyone is sophisticated. You're a sophisticated guy. Okay. So you can talk about
Not to hear my haters
issues.
say it, but
yeah,
okay.
you're sophisticated, right? So you can practice a broad range of cognitive tasks and skills.
Multitasking.
Over the course of time, well, not even just multitasking, but I've learned, particularly through the internet, that not everyone is intellectually equipped for every form of thinking. There are some people who can't deal in hypotheticals.
Oh yeah.
If it's not literal, they can't wrap their head around it. Like, I didn't used to think this was true, but I've
I'm
come across
remembering
it
a
so
tweet
many
you
times.
just put out just recently.
Yeah, there are people who they don't understand hypotheticals. There's people who
All right, I gotta find this tweet where Roland Tomasi did, because that might actually help. That might actually, I might be able to make a point on that. But you got any thoughts so far?
No, not really.
Oh man, see, this is why I need to go to Twitter, man. He posted a tweet. You know, I can actually remember it by. I can almost remember it, but hold on, we almost done with this clip.
who don't understand abstraction and analogy.
Mhm.
There are people who don't understand that something can be generally true whilst
Mhm.
not applying to them,
Or two things can be true at the
specifically,
same
or
time.
two things can be true at
Yeah.
once, or
Mhm.
just because something's not at this extreme, it doesn't have to be at that other extreme. There's a lot of middle ground.
Was it sorry, well,
Go ahead.
was it
Yeah, that's basically the end of it. So like, what he said in the last couple of seconds, like people just have a hard time of like thinking outside the box. Like say me and you have completely different experiences. So like, if I want to kind of relate to you and with my situations and stuff, I have to use an analogy. So like,
Mhm.
like everybody hates that car analogy, like especially women. Like you say, like just say, like if you with women, say I have more experience with women than you do, and then you bring home one woman like that is like the same age you or like older than you. So like when you use the car analogy, like the car that has the most mileage is more of a liability. And
Mhm.
it's you're not going to be able to go long cross country with that car because it has too much mileage on it. So that's kind of why men use that analogy, but like women still don't understand. Like it's not about the car; it's about the relationship the car that has with the woman that is older. Like, but I mean, it's not the same for men either. So like they'll be like, "What about men?" It's There's actually a term called that whataboutism. So that's where I'm talking about with the main character syndrome. It's not always about you. So unless we're talking about men, right now we're talking about women. So like if we're talking a topic about women, we're talking about women. We're not talking about men. But like if we're talking about a topic about men, we're not talking about women. So they always want to say, "What about that? What about this?" So,
I think it's
but
just being understanding in a conversation and also giving the other person the right to their opinion. You don't have to agree with them, but if they see things a certain way, okay, but also be open to seeing, someone else's opinion and not getting offended by it.
yeah,
I mean, it's easy to get struck down for having your own opinion, and it's just like, come on, man, like just because you don't agree with it doesn't make me wrong if I perceive it in that way.
yeah, yes. I mean, because we gotta. Let me get this off of here. Yeah, we gotta. You have to talk in generalities. Because like if I'm like just say if I'm talking let's say I got a friend and she's a stripper.
Hmm.
Um, she's gonna have a different view of men than the girl like than someone like my sister-in-law. Because she respects her husband, but like a stripper, she's used to seeing men come in and dropping dollars, cheating on their women. They got rings and stuff, going in strip clubs and going home with them. Like she's got a different view of men. So like if we say something about men, hey man, there's a lot of good men out here. I mean, you can't really get through to her that because that's all she sees. So um,
Yeah.
it could be the same with men who always like pay for box, like because they're not willing to do the work to go meet women, get in the gym, get their money up. They'd rather just pay for box. So they don't they have never earned the respect of women. So they see women a different way. So it's kind of like sometimes your experiences does sometimes it's the exception to rule, but it's not what most people deal with. So but
Feel you.
yeah, the only reason I brought this topic up is because you can tell when you can't really have a conversation with somebody if they're always like you can't speak in general. Like you can't really have intellectual conversation with somebody if they're always bringing up something from their past and like applying it to the rest of society and stuff
Yeah,
like
I feel you on that. Some people are not capable of having intelligent conversations.
because I deal with this at work all the time. So my manager says I'm like in the top 1 to 5% of drivers, which means I have no issues. I'm always on time. Like I have no problem with the store managers. Uh, so every time I go to a store for delivery, they are actually operating in generality. They think I'm going to take like an hour to park. They think I'm going to drop freight all over the ground. It's like, dude, that's not me. So, and I understand that because I'm not the typical driver that comes over there and just wreck shit. So like it's it's on me to understand that and not get upset because I just got to show them that, I got to be patient. That's where patience comes into play. But
Hmm.
if you are the exception to the rule, don't don't be telling people, "Oh, I'm different." Like, I hate when people say that.
Right.
I mean, you could be different, but you got to. A lot of times, you got to show them because they're not going to believe you. They're operating on generality, so people don't
Yeah, you
realize they do that.
can't just express it. You got to show it.
But yeah, man, we're at the 30-minute mark, man. I didn't want to go too long, but got any thoughts, concerns?
uh, no, I mean that main character syndrome. I've never heard of that before. I'm just
Yeah,
hearing this
people are
like,
always
damn, they can make
yeah,
a syndrome out of damn anything.
yeah, you gotta keep up with this, man. Like, cause mainstream media is not gonna talk, like news ain't gonna talk about this until it's like until we get 150K Bitcoin. So
I mean, it is good to know
yeah,
that the information is out here because before like social media and all this, we didn't know any of this. They weren't talking about this on the news or whatnot. Like so much information is out there. Like you can actually learn about this stuff. You can, you might be suffering from a syndrome that you don't even know. Like it is good to have, all this information.
yeah, yeah. It's just good to be aware, man. Like that's one of my biggest hello. It's one of my biggest things, man. Like mindset, man. Like you talked about that a lot in one of your videos I saw. Like that's one I watched. Like I was like that one resonated with me. It wasn't the first video I saw on mindset, but like I think if you have the right mindset in your particular field or towards your goals, man, you can achieve anything, man.
Yeah, mindset, man. It's almost everything. Just think it all starts in the mind and then it goes everywhere else. So the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Like, and it's so true. Like, if you believe you can do something, like you will achieve it. If you don't believe you can do something, you defeat yourself before you even try it.
Hell yeah, man. It starts with action. Well, it actually
Hmm.
really it doesn't start with action, but it does. Action is the follow up to setting a plan. So, like if you have a goal, you got to really plan for it. So, I'm trying to figure out what my goal, what am I go? Oh yeah, the goal was to start this podcast, man. I did that shit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you asked me like not long ago, like maybe a couple weeks ago, man.
Yeah, for real. I was like, damn, it's up and running. That's what's up. We've been talking about
Yeah,
this for a minute.
yeah. This is I think it's gonna be good, man. We're gonna get you started because I definitely, if you want to get in the gaming space, you got to learn how to use Twitch and all that, and then I don't know, man. Just don't let this affect what you're doing. You got to get your everything else right before you do this. So I don't want to take too much time with
Yeah,
this.
I feel you.
But
I'm
like,
doing working on things one by one.
yeah, just make sure you're enjoying enjoying because this is the part where I enjoy myself when I'm not working. I mean, even though it is kind of work, but
Yeah,
um,
I'm actually gonna start making some different videos eventually. Probably not gaming right away because I don't play the game as much as I used to, but just topics, just things I've been through in my life, things I inject my own opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that.
Yeah, I don't know how far. I don't YouTube, man. I don't know how long it's gonna be because there's so much competition. You got Rumble, TikTok, Instagram. Like people are the only people that are on YouTube are the intelligent people that like actually research on how to do things. Like they research knowledge, like actual from credible people. There's a lot of like people shit on social media influencers, but like if you really pay attention, they know what the hell they're talking about. Also, you can research on what they're talking about. I mean,
Hmm.
the smarter people are actually leaving their sources. They're citing their sources. So, um,
Yeah, they could be more believable than someone just saying something without backing up nothing they say.
but yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say is like get your sub count out because your subs up to like at least 500 if you can, because there's a lot of things you can't do with below 500.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can. They lowered the what do you call it? They lowered the monetization
Hmm.
requirements to 500 subs and then 300 watch hours.
Damn, what did it used to be at?
It used to be 400. I mean, 1,000 subs and then 4,000 watch hours.
Oh, okay, that's what's up that they did that.
I was never gonna get. I was never gonna get 3,000, 4,000 watch hours with 3-minute videos. So podcasting will help, but I just have to kind of. I have to break the algo, man. Like I said, nobody's gonna watch this podcast unless we actually make some noise. So, but like right now, I'm doing it kind of for fun. Actually, hold on. I need to talk to you about something off stream. So I'm gonna end the stream, and
All
then
right,
I gotta. Yeah, I think you could stay in the thing, but we got a little outro too. So,
all right, cool.
all right, yo. If you made it to the end of this video, man, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe and say some comments, man, because I want to reply to your people comments, man. Yo, the ghetto just came out of me. I couldn't even get that English out right. All right, dude.